who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
You walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! I'm off to the house! I'm off to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. I'm off to the house. I'm off to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like this. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had to work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. I'm off to the house. I'm off to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, this game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org. And we come on the air with yet another mass shooting. My sincere, and I do mean sincere thoughts and prayers go out to those up in Indianapolis involved in the mass shooting at FedEx. Published reports say 8 people killed, multiple people wounded at a FedEx center in Indianapolis, not too far from my hometown, a couple hours from my hometown of Cincinnati. So, again, just at some point, I guess we'll take all this. I'm not saying we're not taking it seriously or serious. Just saying more, I think, can be done and should be done. And for those on either political side that want to read into what I'm saying, I don't care which political side you're on. Something has to be done. Something. Same old is not it. Same old is not it. So that's what I'm saying. Another police shooting video released up in Chicago. That man's 13 years old, was 13 years old. A 7th grader. Anyway, we'll talk about several of those things throughout the show. Donna Coleman-Holman, appreciate you tuning in. Always keeping you lifted in my thoughts and my prayers. Got a special guest going to be joining the show today, April M. Greene. She's a 2-time best-selling author. She's a CEO, young lady that I think will be an inspiration to a lot of people. She'll be coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. Be sure to tune in for that. Stay tuned for that. Women in sports were on the spotlight last night, for me anyway. Women in sports were in the spotlight for me last night the WNBA draft went down. They covered it on the mothership, did a pretty good job for the most part. It was a virtual draft, a lot of great moments with family members and young ladies' dreams becoming true as they get drafted into a professional basketball league for women in the United States of America. And I've got to say congratulations to one of our own, UT Lady Longhorn, Charlie Collier. Grew up in Mount Bellevue, Texas, not too far from Houston. And she was the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft. Congratulations, young lady. Congratulations to you and your family. Very, very happy for her and her family. Not far behind her, from the state of Texas now, not far behind her, other ladies that represented the state that got drafted. Aaliyah Wilson from A&M went to Seattle at number 11. Dee Richards, Baylor, also from Cyprus, went to school not too far from where I live. Went to the New York Liberty at number 17. Dejanay Carrington from Baylor went to the Connecticut Sun at number 20. And India Jones, another Lady Longhorn, drafted by Seattle at number 23. All in all, 5 ladies representing the state of Texas taken in the first round in the WNBA. That's awesome. That's awesome. And for each and every one of those young ladies that were drafted last night, congratulations. Congratulations. It was an exciting year in college basketball in spite of the NBA. Of the NCAA. Let me get that right. Let me correct myself. It was an exciting year in women's college basketball in spite of Mark Emmert and the NCAA. And it was a great year in the WNBA with what those ladies did on and off the court in their activism, and they're putting human life above sports, and they're not sticking to sports. Great year. And then to have the draft go off like it did last night, I was really excited. Glad to see it. Glad to see it. I wish those ladies well. Especially those ones representing the state of Texas. Charlie Collier, man, real happy for her. UT had a great finish, but not great finish, but they gave it all they had. So good for them. Good for Charlie Collier. Good for India Jones. Good for Aaliyah Wilson, Dee Richards, and Dejanay Carrington. Donna Coleman-Holman. Is a 13-year-old a man or a young man? I had one once, and he was just as stupid. He was just a stupid boy trying to act like he was a teenager. I'm just saying, these cops think this is a digital training video out here. Woo. I was a single dad for a long time with my oldest son, the one who just got married. And I don't take it lightly. From 13 to 19, for some reason, I became the dumbest person in the house. Like all of a sudden, I lost all my common sense, my 13-year-old son one day on a walk to and from school. We lived 10 houses from his school. Decided on that day that he was smarter than me. All my degrees, all my accomplishments, all my degrees from the School of Hard Knocks mattered not on that day. It was just a random day. And for some reason, my son just felt like that was the day that he knew everything and I knew nothing. So I say all that to say, these are, I don't care how big they are, I don't care how grown they look, these are still kids. These are still kids. Let me take a quick break. Be right back.
No, the battle is not over on our right to vote. The governor and lieutenant governor of Texas are leading the charge to suppress the right to vote of African Americans and other populations in Texas. The pending legislation is nothing short of updated Jim Crow voter suppression laws. These laws will make voting in Texas harder, not safer, and are clearly intended to suppress minority voter turnout and undermine the ability of local election officials to encourage voter participation. Let's mobilize and start a movement against this racist legislation. Let's call 512-463-0733 and tell them, don't suppress my vote. Vote against House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7.
Legislative advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America, Working Forces, Clive Cummings Jr., agent.
Now, in-home or in-office do-it-yourself COVID-19 testing is available to you, and the results are 99% accurate. Save your time and be safe by avoiding the lines and crowds. You can test yourself and your family members at home. Test your employees at work, making sure your workplace is safe. Simply call Citation Bioscience at the number we're about to give you to order your COVID-19 testing kits. When they arrive, follow the simple instructions and send them back to us with our prepaid shipping. Results are ready the next day in 95% of the cases. And remember, they are 99% accurate and reimbursable by your insurance company. Save your time, stay safe, and avoid the crowds. Order your COVID-19 kits now by calling this number now. Pricing starts at $119 and discounts are available for larger orders. Call now. 800-247-8046. 800-247-8046. That's 800-247-8046.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
This is Brian Courtney Wilson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. I was saying before the break, 13-year-old son, about my height. Yeah, at 13, he was pushing 6 feet. He was like a little rail though. Had a little dirt on his face, under his lip, and on his chin, and what have you, and had that look like maybe he could be older. But in his mind, he had transitioned from being a kid to a teenager, and because he was a teenager, he felt like he should be able to start making decisions like a teenager. And we battled in the house, with him wanting to be a teenager from, like I said, 13 to 19. He swears I got him luggage for his 18th birthday. I told him I was just tired of hearing I'm grown. I'm ready to move out. I want to help with the process. All that being said, he was still a kid. 1 minute he wanted to be grown, the next minute he wanted to be, playing with his friends, video games. And, part of his punishment was to literally just go outside. Well, what am I going to do out there? I don't know. Go play basketball. I want to stay and play my game. No, you're punished in here. You can go outside, though. I say all that to say, man, 13-year-olds make bad decisions that should not be deadly. I know. Don't twist my words. I know sometimes they are. My exact words were they should not be deadly. Did the officer know that he was 13 when he was chasing him? No. Was there a gun involved? There was one found at the scene. There are pictures of one in his hands, but there are also pictures of his hands above his head with no gun in them. And somewhere between the one picture and the hands above his head, this young man got shot and killed. 13, 7th grader. I'm not okay with that. And you can't make me okay with that. I refuse to get numb to people getting shot at the hands of police. I'm done getting numb to that. I don't want to hear your stats. I don't want to hear your yeah buts. I don't even want to see your eyeball rolls, because if it was your child, you wouldn't be rolling your eyeballs. And I don't want to hear the stats of the number of police officers that are killed by criminals. Neither one of them is right, and I don't have to lose agreement with one because I agree with something else. I'm not that linear. Policing needs to get better in some areas. And I don't have to be okay with every police officer because there's some good ones out there. I don't have to be okay with the bad ones because there are good, very good, great, indescribable police officers out there who put their lives on the line every single day. I agree with that. But that doesn't mean I got to be okay with the bad ones. Shooting a man in the back 7 times because he's walking away from you is not okay. Thinking that your gun is a taser and shooting somebody and killing them is not okay. And it's not okay that it was an accident. The stuff that we allow in policing. Why is it not okay for an airplane pilot to, be successful 90% of the time? It's only 10% of the planes that they crash. You wouldn't be okay with that. You wouldn't be okay with a doctor that got it right 90% of the time. It's only 10% of the time that they kill people on the operating table. Just stop it. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can be a lover of police and also want bad policing out of the profession. Not every shoot is a good one. And I'm sorry, there are some police officers that lie on their reports and lie to cover up for their partners and other people in their squads, and that's not okay. There should be some consequences for turning your body cam off. There should be some consequences for falsifying information. There should be some consequences for covering up for a partner. If I lie under oath as a civilian, guess what? It's called perjury, and I go to jail. If a police officer lies under oath, that's called looking out for their brother or sister. It's just not okay. It's just not okay. And for those who like to look at the history of the person killed as justification for the death, I can't say what I want to say on this Christian station. Those that think it was okay for Chauvin to kneel on the neck of George Floyd for 9 minutes and almost 30 seconds because of things he did in his past, I can't say what I want to say. There is no justification for that. And I'm sorry, that's bad policing. And he should be held accountable. It's amazing to me that a black police officer in Minnesota accidentally shot and killed a white woman and was convicted of murder, not manslaughter, murder. And we didn't see it on video. We see a white police officer kneeling on the neck of a black man, George Floyd, and we literally see the breath leave his body. We see him get killed, murdered on national TV. And we're debating whether or not he should be tried for murder. A woman who accidentally shot an unarmed man is charged with what? Second-degree manslaughter? Not murder. An officer who killed Philando Castro as he was complying is not convicted of murder or manslaughter. A man who shot an unarmed man in the back 7 times returns to work with no charges, with no punishment, with no penalty. Oh, AJ, he was off from work, paid. He was on vacation. But somehow that's supposed to be okay. I'll say this and I'll take a break. I am not for defunding the police. I'm not. I'm definitely not for doing away with the police. If somebody sticks a gun in my face, I don't want a social worker with a badge to show up and try and defend me. I want an armed police officer. But I don't want them to have just complete immunity when they do the wrong thing and then knowingly cover it up. So maybe defund the police is the wrong thing. And for all you political hacks out there, I can't say what I want to say. They definitely need to be revamped. There definitely needs to be a restructure of the way things work in the police department, some police departments. If I have a problem, I want to be able to call a police officer. If it's a social issue, then I want to be able to call a social worker who can come and de-escalate things. But if there's a crime committed, I want to call a police officer. But I don't want to fear for my life because I'm black and the assailant is white and you're just going to automatically go with the white guy. Or the white woman who decides she can use her privilege to call the police on me. That's why I got the Danger shirt on today. Danger, educated black man. Clearly, that's a problem in policing these days. I'll be right back.
Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211, conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
This is Delano Burton, and I won $500. The lunch break and AJ Jones and KYOK Radio. Thank you.
Can't beat that. Can't beat that. Delano Burton for the second time won $500 on the lunch break with our Keeping Up with the Joneses March Madness Challenge. Man, look, I'm gonna have to start letting Delano do my picks, courtesy of the sports and wellness doctor, Dr. Alexa McClurkin Johnson. It's her birthday today too, and also the Excellence Community Credit Union coming soon, banking for the people, by the people. $500. Delano, congratulations. Stay tuned for your chance to win. We got other stuff coming up with the basketball playoffs, NBA basketball playoffs. We'll have, of course, our Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge for the NFL. And then basketball will be around again. That's right. So congratulations. We also have more of those Dickey barbecue pit barbecue sandwich coupons to give away. A few of you have won those. I hope you have went in and checked out more than just the sandwich. The one up here in Springs got spicy ribs along with the regular ribs. They got the pulled pork. They've got the brisket. Of course, they've got the sausage and all the sides at Dickey's Barbecue Pit up in Spring. But yeah, keep listening for your chance to win right here. All right, so I'm not even looking at my text messages right now because I can only imagine the comments I'm getting right now about, what I'm saying. Here's the thing. I'm open-minded. I'm an independent voter. Like, you don't just get my vote because, you call the name Black people or you do something over in my community. You don't just get my vote for that. You got to actually do the job and do it well. But you're not also going to shame me into doing something or not. And I'm not trying to shame you into thinking like I think. I'm perfectly okay with you trying to do what it is you feel is important. What I'm not okay with is you trying to stop me from doing what I feel is important. And I feel it's important to fight against systemic racism, police brutality, continued murder of unarmed Black people, social and economic injustices against black people and people marginalizing our community. I stand with other communities that are fighting for that for their communities, i.e. Asian lives matter. Asian American lives matter. Pacific Islanders lives matter. I'm not going to beat up on those folks because of coronavirus. Nobody beat up on y'all because of the Spanish flu, which was not from Spain, from the United States of America. So anyway, if that's a problem for you, then danger. Educated black man. Danger, danger. All right, April, I see you there. April got her face beat up. She's going to be joining us on the show in the second hour. I can't wait to have her come on, man. I've been looking at her bio thinking like, man, I literally have not lived. This young lady has done more in, I'll let her tell you how old she is than I've done in my whole lifetime. I got to get going. I got to get busy. Dwayne Wade has been busy. Dwayne Wade has stepped into NBA ownership. Three-time NBA champion Dwayne Wade has purchased an ownership stake in the Utah Jazz. Utah, one of the loudest arenas in basketball. Joining majority owner and team governor Ryan Smith with plans to take an active role in the franchise and the region. Wade, an eight-time All NBA player with the Miami Heat, is the latest of several Hall of Fame level players with NBA ownership stakes, including Grant Hill, who's got ownership in the Atlanta Hawks, Shaquille O'Neal, who's got ownership in the Sacramento Kings, and Charlotte Hornets, majority owner Michael Jordan. Magic Johnson previously had a 4% stake of the Los Angeles Lakers. I love that these guys can even get beyond their fandom and their allegiance to their former teams. I mean, Shaq used to battle against Vlade Divac and the Sacramento Kings. I mean, that used to be. And he wasn't humble about it either. He called them the Sacramento Queens. But now he's got an ownership stake in the franchise. Dwayne Wade didn't play for Utah. Dwayne Wade battled against Utah. And now he's like, ownership is important. So what does he do? He goes out and buys into the Utah Jazz. And Grant Hill with ownership in Atlanta. Let me tell you what Dwayne says. He says, this goes way beyond the dream I had to just play basketball in the NBA. I've seen Shaq do it in Sacramento. I've seen Grant Hill do it in Atlanta. I've seen Jordan do it in Charlotte. If this partnership is going to be anything like my relationship is with Ryan, there are going to be a lot of things that I'll want to be involved in. I like this. And again, listen up to this. Let me let somebody else have to roll their eyeballs at my love for my culture. He says, unfortunately, people in my community don't get this opportunity, and I don't take it lightly to have this opportunity. To make real change, this is where you have to be, at the top. And Ryan knows that, and I'm thankful for him. And I know, too, that I bring a lot to this partnership outside of just my basketball knowledge and skill. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I've been talking about since I've been on this show. We complaining because we don't have black head coaches in the NFL. We complaining because we don't have black general managers. We complaining because we only have 7% of black players in Major League Baseball. And don't even get me started on the NCAA and black head coaches in baseball, basketball, and football. It's embarrassing. But don't complain about it. Do something about it. Do something about it. And the Dwayne Wades and the LeBron Jameses and the Grant Hills and the Shaquille O'Neals and even the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnsons are doing something about it. Michael Jordan buying a NASCAR team group. I love it. I love it. Talking to a guy the other day, he played hockey growing up. I said, yo, man, I appreciate the brother that he's the voice of a hockey team, NHL hockey team for that area. I'm looking for the brother that's going to buy, or sister that's going to buy a NHL franchise. That's what I'm looking for. And if you got a problem with that, that's on you. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. It's like gas. Just let it pass. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You're not going to stop it, though. That's the part. You're not going to stop it. Man, I tell you, I made a decision. I wasn't going to cut black people down. I got a couple that I want to say some things about, but I'm not. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. So congratulations, Dwayne Wade. Congratulations, Dwayne Wade. Who's next? What's that song? Who's next? And then they doing the leg. Go, 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 go. I want to see who's next. Oh, let me not forget Renee Montgomery, WNBA owner, Atlanta Dream. Come on now, Dre, where you at? Yeah, sister stepped out there. Not only did they try to get Kelly Loeffler out, they did, but they got the team. They're like, we're not going to just give it to somebody else and go work for them. We'll buy it. I love it. And the fact that Kyrie Irving got vilified for getting together over 100 NBA and WNBA players to talk about either buying teams or starting their own league is just sad. It's sad on both sides. It's sad on non-black side, and it's sad on black sides. If you were against Kyrie Irving, if he did say it, because now there's question whether or not he said it or not. But if you're against that thought, I don't understand you. Like we ain't speaking the same language. Like we got to own more than just stuff. I'm not mad at any business of any size, baby. If you making plates and selling those on the corner, you are a business owner. Congratulations, more power to you. But ownership on all levels, in my opinion, is important. I tell people the only difference between you and the Waltons is they did it and you haven't yet. They weren't the only ones that had an idea for Walmart. Them dudes with the arches ain't the only ones that had an idea for burgers. Why don't we have a black-owned Home Depot? I'm not just talking about executives in these companies. I'm talking about owners. And y'all are kings and queens. Be kings and queens. Kings and queens means you got to have a kingdom. And if your kingdom is hair, then be the queen and king of hair. If your kingdom is hardware stuff, be the king or queen of hardware stuff. But don't be afraid to do it because other folks say you shouldn't and that you should be satisfied with less than. I love people starting their own radio networks and TV networks and internet networks. I love that. I love Carolina Blitz. I love Houston Round Ball Review. I love the Dialogue and Real Talk Sports. I love Hard in the Paint. I love those guys. If ABC and Fox and CBS and NBC don't understand that these are the kind of people that you need to have on your network and on your desk, then guess what you do? You start your own. Don't wait for them folks to give you nothing. They ain't figured it out yet. I'm so tired of hearing how great Jim Nance is. I can't see straight. Jim Nance, oh man, he's one of the greatest in the business. For what? Why? Because he sounds like he is? Because you say he is? What's he do so great? Tell me again. I wait for Jim Nance to shut up so that I can hear what Tony Romo's got to say. I don't watch any other broadcast that Jim Nance is on because he brings no value to it. But everybody tells me he's great. Dan Orlowski, oh yeah, he's great. He's one of the up and coming. For what? Because why? You know who one of the up and comers is? David Grubb, Chris Gardner, Willie Gibson, Valencia King, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, Renee P. Washington. I can go on and on and on. Take a break. I'll be right back. It's Freestyle Friday, and I'm freestyling today. Y'all done got me started. All right. You want in? 281-453-1000. If you want in, call me. Be grown enough to call me. Don't just text me. I ain't reading texts today. I'll be back.
Now the war is not over. Victory isn't won. No, the battle is not over on our right to vote. The governor and lieutenant governor of Texas are leading the charge to suppress the right to vote of African Americans and other populations in Texas. The pending legislation is nothing short of updated Jim Crow voter suppression laws. These laws will make voting in Texas harder, not safer, and are clearly intended to suppress minority voter turnout and undermine the ability of local election officials to encourage voter participation. Let's mobilize and start a movement against this racist legislation. Let's call 512-463-0733 and tell them, don't suppress my vote. Vote against House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7. We'll fight on to the finish.
Legislative advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America Working Forces Claude Cummings Jr. agent.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we're giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
The lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, y'all, we back here on it on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We're just one nation under a groove trying to come together for the health of it. I'm not reading text messages. I'm not. All y'all trying to get at me through text, I ain't reading them today. You got something to say? Let me give you a number. 281-453-1000. You want to tell me I'm the Malcolm X of sports talk? 281-453-1000. Well, you want to tell me shut up and just stick to sports? 281-453-1000. Just don't curse. Don't say any bad words. Definitely don't call me the N-word because that's not good for your health. Y'all be hiding behind them text messages, man. And I ain't got time to look you up. I don't do all that reverse lookup and all that kind of stuff. I don't have time for all that. I feel you bad. Call me. Let me hear your voice. 281-453-1000. I'm again, it's not a text message. This was something I read earlier on Twitter, I think, where they were trying to convince someone that there is really not a problem with unarmed black people being killed by the police. It was the media who focuses on every time a black person gets killed, but they don't focus on any time a white person gets killed by police. I'm going to just say this. My mama used to tell me this right here. You can't blame everything on, I don't know who did it. Who did it? I don't know, mama. I don't know. Is the baddest person in the house. I don't know. Broke the glasses. I don't know. Broke the chair. I don't know. Messed up the underneath the bed. I don't know. It's just the worst person in the world. You can't blame stuff on everything on somebody else. The media is not the cause for everything that is going on wrong. And just because y'all listen to one person who said fake news, don't mean that it was true. The media ain't out there shooting people. The media ain't out there kneeling down on people's necks for almost 9 minutes and 30 seconds. The media didn't kill Tamir Rice. The media didn't kill Eric Garner. The media didn't kill Tatiana. The media didn't kill Botham Jean. The media didn't kill Ahmaud Arbery. Stop it. The media did not kill Elijah McClain. The media didn't kill Sandra Bland. Typically, people blame stuff on other folks because they don't want to have to deal with it emotionally, physically, financially, relationally. It's not the media's fault. Hear me when I say, I'm concerned about anybody unarmed getting killed at the hands of the police. Anybody. Black people, white people, Asian people. They don't have to be Asian American. Anyone. But I have a special concern in my community. I mean, I don't care about other communities. I'm not one of those, and somebody says Asian lives matter. Oh no, all lives matter. I'm not that guy. You're right. Asian lives matter. No but. This is what we're doing right now. Good. I'm with you. Asian lives matter. When it's time, Black lives matter too. So I'm not fighting with y'all about this media stuff. That's what we call a red herring. That's what we call a rabbit hole. That's what we call a deflection and a distraction. So if that's your comment, keep that. I'll check that box for you. You think it was the media. Bless your heart. Have a great weekend. But everybody else that wants on, 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000. If you want to talk about the WNBA draft, 281-453-1000. If you want to talk about the Rockets and them trying to end their 4-game losing streak tonight when they host Denver. I don't know why I'm trying to put the Rockets on the road. Been doing that all day. But anyway, Rockets going to host Denver tonight, trying to end a 4-game losing streak. Tips off at 7 o'clock. If you want to talk about that, 281-453-1000. Spurs trying to bounce back from a loss to Toronto. They're going to host Portland tonight at 7:30. Hey, where are all those Carmelo Anthony haters at? Melo is balling. What y'all talking about now? Whose career are we trying to bury now? Because Melo lived through it. Melo lived through it. Y'all tried to bury Melo here in Houston. Oh, he can't play no more. He's done. Melo over there balling in Portland. Spurs got to deal with them tonight at 7:30. Luka and the Dallas Mavericks are going to host the Knicks. That'll be tonight at 8:30. That actually might be a good game. I might take a peek at that. And then, man, listen. I can't wait till Zion Williamson buys a team because that brother is a baller, shot caller. They're going to visit Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal and Washington tonight at 6. Yesterday was Jackie Robinson Day in Major League Baseball. 74 years yesterday Jackie Robinson crossed the color barrier into Major League Baseball. Shouldn't have been the first, but guess what? He was. And all around Major League Baseball, they honored him yesterday and will probably honor him throughout the weekend, because there were teams like the Astros that did not play yesterday that may have plans for honoring Jackie Robinson. The Rangers beat the Rays 6-4 in 10 innings on Jackie Robinson Day. And like I said, it'll be the Astros visiting the Mariners tonight. First pitch will be about 9:10 p.m. Can I say this? Now that LeBron James has bought into the Boston Red Sox, I'm now a fan of the Boston Red Sox. Yep, I sure am. You can be mad at me. I know there's people, you got 58 teams. I can have 58 teams because I can do what I want to do. There's no rule in sports that says you have to be a fan of one team. I'm not only a fan of the team, I'm a fan of one of the owners of the team. I'm a LeBron James fan, so guess what? He owns the Red Sox. I like the Red Sox. Look, let me really make you mad. I'm now a fan of the Utah Jazz. Yeah, man. Dwayne Wade owns part of the Utah Jazz. I'm a fan of one of their owners. I'm going to be rocking with the Jazz. I want the Jazz to hang in there now. Go stay on top, Jazz. Utah. Well, I sure hope that just made somebody roll their eyebrows so hard that they pulled a spleen muscle. Is there a spleen muscle? I hope somebody pulled it. Kimberly Negrete, you cutting up today. Hey, Janine Jordan, how you doing? Janine said, love it. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm just telling it like it is. Big shout out to Amber Shaw. She tuned in. Natasha Marie, what it do, baby? Natasha is going to be co-hosting on the Not So Christian in Me show tomorrow from 1 to 2. And it's a great show. They've got a phenomenal guest that's going to be on tomorrow. Be sure and tune into that right here on the legendary KYOK AM 1140, 92.3, and streaming live on KYOKradio.org. Right before that, we got a new show debuting, Coffee with Keith. That debuts tomorrow from 12 to 1. And man, let me tell you something. I can't wait. I think I have a virtual funeral that I have to tune into tomorrow. I don't know how many of y'all knew Dr. Kimberly Credit. She's a pastor, and she passed away. I'll be tuning into her virtual homegoing service tomorrow, but I'll also be keeping an eye on Coffee with Keith. Makes its debut tomorrow right here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOK Radio. Keith is the caller that calls in, and we always have deep, intellectual, meaningful, makes the whole show better conversations. He's got his own gig coming up tomorrow. I can't wait to support him. I'm finna learn more about coffee than I ever thought I wanted to know. But I'm a coffee lover. I do. I love good coffee too. I love that. I love the coffee, alkaline coffee, where it doesn't have all that stuff in it that some coffee has. Let me go to the phone line. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Good afternoon. It's Keith Hennig.
Keith Hennig, you the brave one. You the one that called in today. What's going on, caller of the year 2020?
Well, you asked me to call you names. You asked us all not to call you the N-word. I am calling you the N-word. You are a noble young man. I love what you're doing. Do not, please, ever change what you're doing. You are telling people what is, how it is, and that is very, very noble of you.
Keith Hennig, man, I do, brother. I honor you. I appreciate you. I value you. I respect you. I mean, brother, you are somebody, and I'm glad that you are somebody to me, and I mean that. Thank you, Keith.
Well, thank you, AJ. It's, I work 12 hours a day. I take a 2-hour lunch break with you every day. And every day for the last, 2 or 3 years or whatever it's been, you have spoken truth and you have spoken with passion about truth. And please don't ever let anybody stifle you from that. That is hugely important, and everyone that can hear your voice is better off for hearing it every single day.
Man, that alone is enough to make me keep going. Thank you, Keith. I'm sincere when I say thank you.
Keep going, AJ. Have a great weekend.
You too, brother. Love you much, man.
Love you too. Thank you.
All right, brother. Hello, you live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, this is Blackshirt, man. How you doing?
TD Blackshirt! And listen, hold on, brother. While I'm talking about all those shows out there, y'all got to tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshirt, on Tuesdays. And, man, I am blessed by you. He's on from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., and a lot of the stuff I'm talking about, TD Blackshirt talks about every Tuesday from his perspective. And I don't mind that, TD Blackshirt. I mean that. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm all right, man. I'm mad, man. You telling me LeBron and then D-Wade is balling to these teams, man. I mean, Boston and then Utah Jazz.
Yeah, man. It's official.
Oh, man, the Wade needs to go and try to get this boy out of that dress, man. I'm just saying.
TD Blackshirt, you know what?
Yeah.
So he bought Utah so he can help his son however his son needs help.
Oh man, I'm just saying, man, just get put the ball in some dungarees or something.
Blackshirt, you are something else, brother. You are something else.
Man, I'm enjoying your show. I just had to call the mess with you. You're talking about the N-word. I started to call you one. I said I ain't gonna call no N-word.
Thank you, Blackshirt. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man.
Oh man, it's gonna be a great day, man. I wish Kyrie and I wish all of them, man. I think Isaiah Thomas tried that one time, but
Yeah, I think he did. I think him and some other folks did, but guess what? Folks are getting it done now.
and I just hope, man, with all the money they make, and I know they have these foundations, and that money is just growing even long after they have retired, that, they ought to be trying to establish some things that build economical stability.
Correct.
In our community.
Correct.
There's no reason for us not to have banks where we can go and ask them for car loans or home loans, and where we can take the money away from some of these other corporations and build and establish our own. Whereas we don't have to ask them for anything, and perhaps we can get a location in a city that would change its street signs like the Vietnamese people does over there in Charlestown. I'm just saying.
Blackshirt, you talking some truth, man. I appreciate you as always, man.
Man, bless you, man. I just had to call and tease you. It's Friday. I'm getting ready to shut down. Get ready to go hug my wife. Man, thinking about that, let me get ready to get off the phone, man. I'm excited.
Later, Blackshirt. Tell Sister Blackshirt we said hello.
I will do.
All right, that's a good brother there. That's a good brother. Yeah. Again, check him out every Tuesday. Table Talk with TD Blackshirt right here from 10 to 11. All right, let me get Sybil Wilkes on real quick. We'll be right back right after this.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. Americans who receive the Pfizer vaccine are likely to need an additional booster in 6 to 12 months. That according to Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, in a CBS Health Live event. Although data shows the Pfizer vaccine is effective against the South Africa variant that is circulating in the U.S., Mr. Bourla said protection declines over time, similar to a typical flu shot. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
I'm the legendary Legend, 1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
You walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it?
Do a mic check. Let me see if I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I got you now. Stand by, dear. We're coming up next.
This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this hollering we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had to work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time.
What time is it? Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
We ready.
Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Nah, this game is not over. That's the first hour on the books, second hour underway here on the legendary KYOK. It's Freestyle Friday. I've been freestyling like crazy. Keith Hennick, I appreciate you. TD Blacksher, I appreciate you. Natasha Marie, CJ, Deneen, all of y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning in and what y'all been saying. I got my special guest, though. I could not wait for this day. I was like a little kid on Christmas Eve. I was trying to hurry up and go to bed, trying to hurry up and wake up, and it'd be time for this show. She done blocked us out, though. I can't see her, y'all. Where's she at? April Greene gonna come back in just a second. While she is getting ready to come back, let me just tell you a bit about this young lady. Born and raised in Canton, Mississippi. April moved to Houston back in August of 2017, and it was a launching pad to literally activate the gifts that were already within her. She is the founder of AM Greene Enterprises, LLC. She is a relentless go-getter. She will not rest until the vision that God gave her is fulfilled. And there she is. She's back. Without further ado, let me present to some and introduce to others. Sister April Greene. April, you on mute again. Unmuted and tell us, hey.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Man, there you are, April. And looking quite lovely today, as always. April, how are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good.
What's been going on since we first connected about you coming on this show?
Yes. Nothing. Kind of laying low.
Nah, April, there ain't nothing laying low about you. In fact, you are a not one, but two-time best-selling author. And April, that's just absolutely amazing. Tell us about that.
So Prayers for the Boss Babes Volume 1, we launched it back in October of 2020, and in less than 6 hours, we became number one on Amazon nationwide. And so with that, the Lord said that He was about to shift me and the co-authors, and that is more than a book and devotional, but it's a movement. And so when I took on the opportunity to do Volume 2, Caution She Does the Pray Fair, I had to go through a lot of warfare. I had to go through the things. But I got notification on this week that we became number two for the second time. And so I'm super duper excited for what God is about to do within us.
April, I just think that's amazing. Now, you're talking to an author, but I ain't no best-selling author. And I mean, just what in the world does that feel like to see your book, your work up at number one?
I'm honored because I'm doing it only to give God glory and to please Him. It's an honor. The first time that I became number one, I cried all that day. Right. This second time, it was a little different. Probably because I already kind of knew and expected what God was about to do, not in that magnitude. But this second time, oh no, it's like I had to struggle to get to this place, and so I'm still honored. But I count it all joy. I count it all joy.
Yeah. We got April M. Greene joining us. She's a two-time best-selling author. She is a CEO. She is a mother. She's a praying woman. Tell us the names of the books, April.
Okay, so my first book is Prayers for the Boss Babes. It's kind of been through some stuff because I've been reading it. That's the first one. That's the first one. I also took on a project, and the Lord just said that I really didn't want to take on no more projects, but He told me to do this when I committed to Him back in January of this year. It's Ladies in Waiting, Sis Fix Your Crown. And so with this one, it's just a lot of co-authors came together. Some are single, some are married, some have been divorced. And so we just talked about how we can self-sabotage some relationships, how, relationships, good or bad, with a significant other, how it built us to be the women that we are now. And we're just coming to help that other sister fix her crown.
Wait a minute.
My last book.
Hold on. In my business, when I'm not in here, I'm a pastor. We say that'll preach right there. Woman of God, I mean, hold on. Fix your crown. In other words, some of the self-sabotaging and the behavior that doesn't give life to the relationship does what? It ultimately kills it. Where did that vision come from? Where did that get started in you to write something about that?
At the time, God had called me to do deeper healing, and with that, I had to go back and try to correct some wrongs in relationship. So I have a daughter; she's 15, and throughout the years, I have dated around different guys, and so I just haven't really been successful in that area. I had to go back to places. I remember in the book I wrote about you cannot be scared to heal, and oftentimes when situation hurts us and we deal with rejection and all of that, it kind of stems from the self-sabotaging. This particular guy that I dated 8 years ago, right? I had to go back and make right with him. I had to do some closure with him. But in that relationship and me going back to apologize to him, I found out that I self-sabotaged it. He was a great gentleman. He didn't do nothing wrong, but it was one thing that triggered something that was down deep in me that I had dealt with in past relationships that would allowed me to call it off, right? And so with that, I talk about you can't be scared to heal. You have to acknowledge that you're hurt, and you have to go through the proper process to help that other sister, right, to fix your crown. And so that's what I talk about in Ladies in Waiting.
Wow, y'all, I'm telling you, this is good stuff. We got April M. Greene joining us. She's a best-selling author. She's a CEO. We're talking about one of her books, and that's just powerful stuff right there, because as you were talking about that, I can remember relationships that I was in where the person was just as good as gold, just cared about me and what have you, and something in me didn't feel worthy of that kind of love. So I made it up in my mind that either they were doing something wrong or I needed to, do something. I had to get them before they get me. You know what I mean? And it just, I killed very good relationships because I hadn't dealt with stuff in myself. And you done wrote a whole book about it. Now, even though I'm not a queen, can I fix my crown too?
Absolutely. So every book that I have wrote, is not only for women, even though it kind of target both babes and ladies in waiting. It's for everyone. It's for that young girl. I wrote it actually for my daughter, to let her know that she's worthy of her crown. And I'm here to help her assist, fixing her crown. And so I haven't wrote none of these books by myself. I'm co-authors of all of these books. The last book is on pre-order now. Pray for the Boss Babe, Caution She Doesn't Pray Fair. We just launched that one, and so it will be available. I will have those copies on hand very, very soon.
I love that in itself. Caution, she doesn't pray fair. That's a serious statement to the enemy out there. That's a serious statement to the enemy out there. Again, tell us about that vision and how that part came to be.
Actually, I took on, I had got word from Day Elworth. Thank you, Day, for this opportunity, just opening up doors. And I know God will reward you. He will reward you so openly. But with the first book, Prayers for the Boss Babe, she just had another vision to do volume 2, Caution She Doesn't Pray Fair. Me in that process, I talk about with your hands lifted, a sweatless victory. Oftentimes, like Daniel, when he prayed the first time, God heard him, but it was some things held up. And so I talk about that very scripture in this book. And so I can give away a lot, but in that book, in that devotion, it's a lot of affirmation, it's prayers that God downloaded with me and the other authors. So you can pray over in your life, because we fighting a sweatless victory. God have already won the battle, right? And so we're just walking this thing out. And so yeah, we fighting it through marketplace and through every area of your life. And so I'm super duper excited for this project also.
I love it. Now you got to tell everybody real quick, we'll do it at the end too, where they can get their pre-ordered copy of that one.
Okay, so all copies you can get from my website, www.aprilmgreene.com. The last book we're uploading it now on my web designer, but if you want to directly get it from me, you can. It's a PayPal link that I will post after this interview. And yes, I would thank you, each one of you guys, for supporting the ones that have already bought every book, every project that I do. I'm honored. I'm grateful, because God did promise me when I was scared and afraid to do things. He promised me that, April, if you just give me a fresh yes and you just walk things out, even afraid, right? He said that it will be souls connected to that, my obedience. And so I thank each one of you guys for purchasing the book, everything that I launch out. I thank you guys for trusting the God in me. And you see that light in me, that you trust me enough to read my life, right? My life is an open book at this moment. And when I became an author, I'm so private in things. And so when the Lord told me that he would use what the enemy meant for evil, he'll turn it around for my good. And so with that, I just want to thank each one of you guys that will purchase, who have already purchased, and that will purchase the copies.
April M. Greene with an E on the end. Y'all be sure and check that out. April, we got to get ready to take a quick break. But when we come back, I want to talk more about you. And we'll do that when we come back right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. It's Freestyle Friday. I know we're supposed to be talking sports. No, we're not. It's Freestyle Friday. Y'all know how we do it. If you want to get in to have questions for April, you can do that, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. You can even text me your questions for her. 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000, or text me 832-403-5005. It's the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Yes, KYOK, 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
You're listening to Shiloh Radio, the legendary KYOK 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM, where you will be encouraged, inspired, and ignited to reach your maximum potential in life of Jesus Christ with Shy. Now the war is not over. Victory isn't won.
No, the battle is not over on our right to vote.
The governor and lieutenant governor of Texas are leading the charge to suppress the right to vote of African Americans and other populations in Texas. The pending legislation is nothing short of updated Jim Crow voter suppression laws. These laws will make voting in Texas harder, not safer, and are clearly intended to suppress minority voter turnout and undermine the ability of local election officials to encourage voter participation. Let's mobilize and start a movement against this racist legislation. Let's call 512-463-0733 and tell them, don't suppress my vote. Vote against House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7.
Legislative advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America. Working Forces, Claude Cummings Jr., agent.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org. It's Freestyle Friday, and I got another one, as DJ Khaled would say, another one, and it is none other than April M. Greene, born and raised in the SIP in Canton, Mississippi. She's been here since 2017, and she says that Houston was a launching pad to activate the gifts that were already within her. April, let's talk about that. I mean, so you're telling me that you weren't doing any of this stuff that you're doing now when you were back in the SIP? Uh-oh, you went on mute again, April.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
That's
so the
okay.
only thing that I was doing in Mississippi was back in 2016. That's when I became an entrepreneur. Back in 2016, I launched a business, home away from home childcare. With that, I target parents that work non-traditional hours. We had a Nissan factory. We have a Nissan factory in my hometown, and so I target those parents that work second and third shift. And so when God told me to move to Houston, it was bittersweet because I had started something, but that carried over. He had already ordered my steps when I got here, and so now I service over 15 families with my home away from home childcare.
Wow. Now, again, we talked about your author piece, but you are a CEO, and the child away from home care, like you said, was back there in Mississippi because of the folks that work different shifts at the plants. That's something that a lot of folks don't realize, that second shift workers, third shift workers need child care as well. And not a lot of these daycares are open. Look, I know I used to have to get to one before 6 o'clock, or else I was going to pay some extra fees. You were taking care of those overlooked areas. Did you always want to work in child care?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, did you always want to work in child care?
Yes, absolutely. So I've been in childcare 15 years. Since I had my daughter, I had a passion for children, right? And so that still is my ultimate goal. That's my first baby. But with that, I was a single mother. I'm still a single mother. And with that, it was so hard to find childcare. Like, I didn't want to burn out my mom, taking care of my daughter. And so the Lord told me to launch it for others. And so with that, I have blessed a lot of kids. To this day, they may be in middle school now, and so I love them. But my ultimate goal here is just to kind of do an extended care and try to launch out and create an agency where other sitters can work under home away from home. So that's my ultimate goal right now. And so yes, that's my first love.
Now we got April M. Greene joining us here on the lunch break. She's a best-selling author, and she's a CEO. Where did the entrepreneur spirit kick in for you to want to start your own business? Especially coming from Canton, Mississippi.
Yeah, so if you grow up in a small town, it just gives you time to really reflect on what the life that you want to create. And so with that, I always knew that I had an entrepreneurship anointing on my life. Every job that I had, of course, I did it to the best of my ability, but I just knew I didn't want to work for no one else, right? I always had that boss, that leader mentality. And so with that, it just kind of lined everything up. I also have an interior decorating business as well. The God told me back last year when the pandemic hit in May to revisit some of my dreams. I always was into fashion merchandising, interior decorating. I had did it as a hobby, but now I have created a line of income with that. And so some new exciting things are coming with that one. And so just be on the lookout with that. But the Lord just told me that once I enter that client's home, that I would bring him with me, and that he would change the whole atmosphere of that client's home. And so with that, I know it's bigger than just decorating. It's bigger than just fixing your home and fixing your heart. And so all the things that I do, it always points back to him, because it's him that has given me everything that I am doing now.
I absolutely love that. April Greene joining us here on the lunch break. April, starting your own business is a step of faith. Where did your faith get developed to the point where you would trust God even in the places where you couldn't see him or you were unsure?
It started in August of 2017 when I moved here. I moved here in an unfamiliar territory. I didn't know really people here. I had a cousin here. And with that, I felt like Peter out on water, and I couldn't look to the left or the right, but I had to fully trust God. And so with that, my faith, knowing that a risk taker, that's what the risk taker is, right? When God tell me to do something, I just jump on it, right? And even if it doesn't go as planned, I know it's no failure in God, that I'm only either winning or I'm learning. And still with that, I don't take no for an answer. And I just know that, like I said, it's no failure in him. And so with that, my faith is still being developed. It's many times where I said, Lord, help my unbelief. But even in those moments, he always, if I just, like he just told me, April, if you be obedient and you launch it and you just, present it out to the earth, then he will blow on it. And so it's really God's speed in all of the things that I do. So it's no secret thing, nothing but to get in the presence of him. And so he give me strategies and different things on how to move and how to maneuver so he can get all glory.
April, we got to take another quick break, but you said a mouthful there. I want to unpack some of that when we come back, because that's going to help somebody. Okay. We got April M. Greene joining us here on the lunch break. We'll be right back with more right after this on the legendary KYOK.
Need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire, located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM at KYOKradio.org.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. See you there.
Now, back to the lunch break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. It's our Freestyle Friday, man. We're freestyling with one of the best of them. Young lady from Canton, Mississippi, been here since 2017. Two-time best-selling author, CEO, and I'm not talking about one business. I'm talking about multiple businesses. She's a mother. She's a praying woman, God-fearing woman, and I'm glad she is my friend right here on the lunch break. It is April M. Greene. And April, somebody just sent in a question. Keisha S. said she sounds like a young woman, and I am very impressed. Do you mind asking her how old she is?
Yeah, so my birthday was this past Saturday, April 10th, and I turned 33 years old, right? So 33 is very significant in Jesus' life and his ministry. And so with that, I came in 33. I cried. I cried the majority of my birthday, only because I know it's a dying that's taking place in my life, just like the crucifixion of Jesus. And so with that, I'm just on this journey of him, right? Trying to create and make things all new. And so, yeah, I'm 33 years old.
Keisha, I'm sorry, not Keisha. That was the person that sent the message in April. You said in the last break that you're either winning or you're learning. In other words, you're not losing. That's a serious statement of faith. I mean, come on now. You're either winning or you're learning. That shook me up because I don't know if I even look at it like that. I'm the whole doggone pastor. Where did that come from?
It actually came from my mentor this week. I went through some things that I had a session with her, and she's so powerful. She's a great woman of God. But in that, I felt like a majority of people, they see me as the boss. They see me like I got it all together. In all actuality, I don't. And so with that session, she just told me to retrain your thought process. And it's no failure in God at all, April, that you're either winning or you're learning. And so this last situation that it was presented to me, it was a lesson learned. And so I have to count it all joy in it.
Yeah, that's that part of faith that even when it doesn't look like what you thought it would, the outcome is not what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
You gotta find some way to write joy on top of that and count it joy. I appreciate that. Talk about some of those tough moments where maybe you felt like not writing the books, or maybe you felt like not doing the businesses. What were those moments like for April Greene?
Yeah, so those moments, those are April moments, right? And so with that, I know that what God has promised me. And so when I feel shaken or I feel like things is not adding up, so I dealt with this thing of perfectionism. I'm dealt with OCD, and I felt like everything should go this way, right? And so when the Lord started dealing with me, um, those are times where I feel like my unbelief, those things, those challenges comes. But with that, it's many times I wanted to throw in a towel and just be normal and have a normal 8 to 5 job. And so God is not calling me to that. Even with writing the book, it was time where I didn't know what to write. I didn't want to even open up those areas to go back and try to deal with the reality of what I felt in those moments. And so when I talk about you cannot be scared to heal, that's where I come from. I'm coming from a place of vulnerability and allowing God to literally heal those soul wounds that I was experiencing, right? And so, and so to go back to the question, those times are trying. It's many times where I feel like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna do this, and I don't know how it's gonna play out. And so, in those moments, and when it do, God exceed and He supersedes the expectation what I had. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful because I know that what I go through, it's not for me, but it's for someone else.
Wow. Wow. That being said, Natasha Marie just said, April Greene, you are an inspiration queen, with 3 big old hearts and exclamation points. CJ Wright said, count it all joy. Amen. So you're touching people already. Let's go back to your childhood. Who was your motivator? Who was your inspiration? Who did you look up to and see how they managed their faith to kind of start developing your own?
My mom was a single mother of 5 children. I never really seen her cry. The only time I seen her cry was when I had to have surgery. And they put me in ICU, and they didn't know what was wrong with me. A lot of doctors came in, they was trying to see what was going on, and in that moment, they put me in ICU. I remember her calling all her brothers and her sisters, and that was my first time seeing her cry. And so it's strength within her. She's a virtuous woman that I said, and if I ever get in a position that I will do anything I can for her. And I have made some things like that come to reality in her life. And so she is the one that when I see her, she give me strength like no other.
Yeah. I'm really glad to hear that. She's still in Mississippi.
She is.
Yeah, that's all right. I told April that I got family in Mississippi, from Leland to Laurel to Greenville. I got family all through there. So, somewhere down the line, we might be cousins, or cousin, as they say. But April, you are amazing. It was obvious that there was somebody in your life that was an image of strength and faith and the power of prayer. Talk about your prayer life a little bit.
My prayer life. So it's been developed throughout the years. When I moved here in Houston, because I felt alone at first. I felt like, okay, Lord, you brought me to this place. Okay, what's next? And with that, I had to find strategy from Him through prayer. And so it was sometimes where it was hard to pray. And so when people come for advice now or for me to pray for them, I always try to encourage them, like a woman of God told me before. Even if you take 15 minutes out, starting out, 5 minutes of worship, 5 minutes of prayer time, and 5 minutes of just being quiet before Him, it would develop. It will develop. And it was times where been in my closet for hours, just crying, don't know what to say, but just thanking God for what I've been through, thanking God for what He's about to do. And so, with that, I just want to encourage people to just spend time with God. Like He's always available and ready to hear you out and just be vulnerable with Him. It was times where I didn't want to share a lot of stuff that I dealt with and struggled with Him, but He knows all things, right? He chose me before the foundation of the earth. He already predestined it. And so He knew what I was going to struggle with. He knows what you're struggling with, dealing with. And so just give it over to Him.
April M. Greene, two-time best-selling author, CEO, mother, very strong woman of faith. April, there's some people who want to separate their business life from their spiritual life, but a best-selling author can pray. A CEO can have a prayer life and faith in their walk. Talk about how you have married the two, how you have been able to incorporate who you are in your prayer life and in your spiritual life with who you are as a best-selling author and a CEO.
So it just go hand in hand, but it was when I first wrote the book Prayers for the Boss Babe, my first one back in October. My mom had got sick. I had to drive to Mississippi. And in those moments, God took me back to a place where I was to show me who I was, because I really didn't know who I was outside of all the titles. I knew how I was as a child care specialist, as the interior decorator. I knew all of that, right, as a mother, but I didn't know who I was in Him. And so He had to take me back to show me who I was in Him. And when He showed me who I was in Him, it was like unmovable go-getter. Like, I know that the opinions of others doesn't matter at this moment, but if I continue to keep my eyes and focus on Him, that He will continue to validate me. And so with that, it goes hand in hand. I do not do nothing outside of the will of the Lord. Now, yeah, I have made mistakes in business, a lot of mistakes, but they're growing pains. And so, like I said, it's never failure in Him, but it's lesson learned. And so with that, I just learned to pursue everything with wisdom, right? When the opportunities and many opportunities come to me, right? To be on different radio shows, talk shows, to be partnered, to do all these things, right? But I always have to pursue it with wisdom. And so when you came to me, I knew that it was an indication of God's promise, because I was feeling down. I felt like, okay, Lord, I'm just going to silence myself in this season and back up for a minute, but the Lord told me to continue to go. And so when you gave me this opportunity, I immediately said yes to you. And so I want to thank you for this opportunity. But to go back to the question, it goes hand in hand. And I want everyone to know, as a business, your business will continue to flourish if God is in it.
Yeah. No, first of all, I'm honored that you accepted, because it was one of those moments where I looked at a post and it's like the post was blinking. And, Facebook don't have all that, but that thing was blinking. And I said, okay, what's this about? They said, get her on the show. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I reached out to you, and here we are. And I'm so glad we did, because you are blessing a lot of people right now. And I thank you for your transparency. I thank you for your commitment and your faithfulness. You're not giving us patented answers. You just telling the truth, and the truth will set us free. So I appreciate. We got April M. Greene, two-time best-selling author, CEO, mother, and all of that. How talk about your relationship with your daughter? I mean, who does she get to see? Does she get to see the CEO? Does she get some of the best-selling author, or does she get the praying mother? Which one?
She get all three, but the most one that she gets is the praying mother, because it's just through prayer. And I'm grateful. At first, when I had her at 17 years old, I was like, Lord, why me? Like, I never wanted to be a single mother. I had dreams. I had my dreams, right? But it wasn't really God dreams and God goals for my life. And so with her, she see that entrepreneur. And the other day she wanted to launch her own business. So I just launched her own lip gloss line. So my daughter's 15 and has her lip gloss line that I really has really been a blessing. It really has been a blessing. And so with that, I just want to create generational wealth. With the books, I want to leave that as legacy on something on the earth, because books will forever be here on the earth when I'm long and gone. And so she get all sides of me. For the most part, she was getting a lot of side of me of I was trying to hustle to get it right. I was trying to make end meet, make end meet. And so with that, I had to really retrain my thinking, because in God is no hustle, right? It
Right.
flows. And so with that, she's seen where I work long hours. In the scripture, too much is given, much is required. She see that strength. And so with that, I just want to create my ceiling to be her floor. I want it to be that she will supersede what I do. And it always haven't been easy. Like I'm learning to let her see me cry. I'm learning to let her see me have mistakes, because I felt like I was so perfect in one area. I dealt with that. And so, yeah, she see all sides of me.
April, that's amazing. 15 years old. She's launched her own business. It's a lip gloss line. Tell us the name of your daughter's business.
It's called Sweet Gloss by Tymere.
Sweet Gloss by Tymere. How and where can we find that?
So it's the link that I can send you. She just have a little PayPal account now where she's taking orders, but we're trying to get something established where she will, and I will be over it a website. So maybe on my website, I'm not sure yet, but I
All
will
right,
post
so
the link.
yeah, I was gonna say I need that link. I got girls, and I need my girls to have one of their Queen sisters lip gloss products, if not more than that, and to be in support, because like you said, queens, every now and then another queen might have to help you with your crown. So that's outstanding. I think, like you said, you're creating something generational when you do that, and by letting her see all of you. Yeah, she won't feel like, well, my mom is perfect and I'm not. And then she start confiding in other people who she feels better understand. When she sees mama cry, guess what? She knows she can go to mama when she got to cry. When she sees mom have some tough times, she knows she can come to mom when she has some tough times. So I applaud you as a best-selling author. I applaud you as a CEO. I definitely applaud you as a mother.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah. April M. Greene, y'all. She's breaking it down to us. One more thing before we got to get ready to go. You got some spiritual gifts. You got a gift, an anointing for prophecy and the prophetic. How does that mix in with being a best-selling author and a CEO? Folk don't usually go to their CEOs, their bosses, for a prophetic word. How do you manage that, the gifts of God, with everything else you got going on in your life?
So I really haven't tapped in it a lot, but I do operate in that gift, right? And so with that, I just have to discern the timing of it. I have to know when to say and when not to. And so with that, it's just my advantage. I'm grateful for the gift of prophecy. I'm grateful for the gift of tongues, right? Because in that's where mysteries lies. And so with that, the Lord just download, so when I pray to him, that's when all of these different things that he want me to do to be a trailblazer, to birth it in the earth. And so it's a great advantage. It's a great honor and a gift.
I love that you don't wall off parts of you. I love that. I love that you used the word earlier about flow. I love that you are able to flow in all the different gifts because they come from the same source. I just absolutely love that. And again, that's that wisdom and maturity I was telling you. I'm trying to figure out where all this wisdom come from at this young age.
Yeah.
So, April, you are amazing.
It hasn't always been easy.
Go ahead. No, talk about it.
Yeah, so it haven't always been easy. I felt like I was doing too much. But when the pandemic had hit, it showed me that I can pick up something and lay it down. So with the childcare, I haven't really picked it up due to COVID, right? And so that's when the other gifts of my interior decorating and X, Y, and Z with the books is doing its own thing. And so with that, I don't feel like I'm doing too much. I don't even feel like I'm doing enough, right? And so
Wow.
I'm honored. I'm grateful.
I hear you. I hear. What's the name of your interior decorating business?
It's AMG Interior Decorating.
AMG Interior Decorating. Can I just tell you real quick? Can I just have a transparent moment? I don't have that gift at all. I can't. Child, I have a funny looking sofa with a funny looking table with a funny looking chair and nothing that matches or complements itself. I just think that's one of the most profound gifts in the world.
It's beauty in it. It's beauty in it. God gave me an eye for it. I don't like to be original, right? I love to do something, I don't know, out of the norm. And so with that, I know it was a gift that he's given me to go into someone's home. Now with me, I always ask my friends to help me decorate my own house. I have decorated it, but I don't want to see my look in my own place, right? I want somebody else's perspective. And so with that, I'm being free to allow people to so I can be open, right? So they can help me with the very thing that I'm helping others do. So
Yeah, now I'm getting ready to be a little prophetic with you right now. What's this that I'm picking up about you and fashion or modeling and showing other women that, hey, we don't have to be a size 2 to be fashionable, to be fierce, to be on fire.
So you are picking up. Back in when I was in 11th grade, I was actually on the modeling squad. I was actually Miss Modeling, Allure Modeling Squad back in Mississippi, Exit 119. Some of you guys may be watching. I love my hometown. But I was a model for those years, and I always love fashion. I always. That may be another venture that I'll be tapping into fashion merchandising. But I always love that. And so yeah, you don't have to be a size 0, 2, 3, 4. I've never been those sizes. But just be confident in your own skin. Be confident knowing that whatever you wear, um, be porous and be okay. And you share with the world who you are. And so with
Yeah.
fashion, I just feel like that's a part of you, right? And you don't have to say a word, but what you wear, it kind of says it all.
Yeah, I have been avoiding saying that to you, and I just got one of those nudges to, yeah, let's ask that question. April, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can get your books, where they can, reach out for your services, whatever they need concerning April M. Greene. Tell them where they can get it.
Yeah, so everything is on my website at aprilmgreen.com. And with that, AM Greene Enterprise is where all of my business is under that umbrella. And so you can find me on Facebook. I think I have exceeded my friend request on my personal page, but you can connect on April M. Greene page, AMG Enterprise LLC page. What other page? AMG Interior Decorating page. And I think it's one more, author April Greene. So if you want to find all my books and me just sharing, being vulnerable, I'm about to launch some more things with the book. Also, they have others, and so with that, you can connect with me at that author April Greene page.
Do you do workshops? Do you do speaking engagements? If somebody wanted to bring you in to talk to their young adults, or if some women wanted to bring you in to inspire other women, how do they reach out to you?
So you can reach out by visiting my website where you can, it's a form there where you can fill out, and me or my assistant will reach back out to you and schedule some type of consultation or just kind of sit down to see what you need of me. I really haven't really did it, right? I really haven't did it like publicly. Of course, I have done it privately, but the Lord is speaking through you because that's one of the
Well,
things that I'm working towards now with my branding coach. So yes.
all right. Well, I already told you, Big Brother's here. Now, I'm top flight security. Anybody give you problems, you throw them my way, and you just keep doing you. But April M. Greene, you are phenomenal. You are amazing. You have given life to people today. You gave me life. I can't wait to get some products from Baby Girl. I can't wait to read your book. Now, where it says Queen, I'm going to be putting King in there and adjusting my crown. But we're so glad to have you. And I mean it. You're going to have to come back. We need updates from you on what you're doing, how you're doing it. But we do. We speak life over you. We speak nothing but the best. And like you said, you're either winning or you're learning. And we appreciate you, April.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, y'all. April M. Greene. April, have a great rest of your weekend. I will be talking to you soon, okay? All right, y'all. April M. Greene. Her website is scrolling right over there on the bottom. You be sure and go and check it out and support this queen. She's young, 33 years old. She's a single mother. She's a entrepreneur, and she is walking in brand new gifts. So I know I'm talking to somebody out there. Listen, I know you are in that same boat, but guess what? When you do for others, others will do for you. So help her out, check her out. We're going to be checking you out too. All right, let me take a break. We'll be back, wrap it up right after this on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The Legendary KYOK.
On April 1st, 2021, Martin Broadcasting, Inc., the licensee of station KYOK 1140 Conroe, Texas, filed an application with the Federal Communications Commission requesting renewal of its license. Members of the public wishing to view this application or obtain information about how to file comments and petitions on the application can visit publicfiles.fcc.gov and search in KYOK's public file.
Now the war is not over. Victory isn't won. No, the battle is not over on our right to vote. The governor and lieutenant governor of Texas are leading the charge to suppress the right to vote of African Americans and other populations in Texas. The pending legislation is nothing short of updated Jim Crow voter suppression laws. These laws will make voting in Texas harder, not safer, and are clearly intended to suppress minority voter turnout and undermine the ability of local election officials to encourage voter participation. Let's mobilize and start a movement against this racist legislation. Let's call 512-463-0733 and tell them, don't suppress my vote. Vote against House Bill 6 and Senate Bill 7.
Legislative advertising paid for by the Communications Workers of America. Working Forces, Clive Cummings Jr., agent.
Do you watch television? Of course you do. Then have you tried Dish TV from All American Dish yet? No? Well, now is a great time because we're giving everyone that calls today a 2-year locked-in price. Your rate will not change for 2 years. The clock is ticking. Call now, get Dish, and get your price locked in for 2 years and save yourself some money. Dish has your favorite TV programs, even Netflix and Amazon Prime built into the DVR. You can even watch Dish anywhere you have an internet connection. Plus, we've even got awesome discounts for the military and seniors. Oh, and one more thing. Call All American Dish now and we'll even give you a free Google TV voice remote, free installation, and free equipment. Don't wait. Call All American Dish now.
800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. 800-296-1302. That's 800-296-1302.
Hi, this is Sonia from Southeast Houston, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on 92.3 and KYOK.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm sorry, TJ, I didn't mean to cut you off. Man, what a great interview. And I know a lot of folks are hitting me up. Bro, where are you finding these amazing people? I'm being blessed listening to this testimony. What's her social so I can follow and support? And great work, bro. I appreciate that. She is tagging her website, which is, of course, www.aprilmgreene with an E on the end.com. And then also, let's see, got her daughter's website or link to purchase her lip gloss. I'm definitely getting in that. My girls are going to have that. You know, I got girls who love that kind of stuff. You know, now listen, now I'm just saying, but I'm saying, Y'all got some stuff for some fellas? I need some fellas like lip balm or something like that. I need that because, man, my mouth. I do so much talking. So, yeah, if y'all need a male lip balm model, I got the lips for it. I'm that dude. I ain't got no agent, though, so we just have to negotiate. We just have to negotiate what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no middleman or no middle woman. We just have to shake on it and go from there. But I'm trying to build my repertoire up too. Y'all, I'm gonna be a lip model. Say what you want to say about my big head. I'm about to be a lip model. Play with me. Yeah. And listen, since I've been talking about ownership, if I can buy into it, let me know. Y'all be playing. All right, let me see what's going on. Hold on. I'm trying to like it and I can't love it. I want to love it, not just like it. All right. Congratulations to UT's Charlie Collier from Mount Bellevue, being the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft last night by the Dallas Wings. Also, Aaliyah Wilson of A&M got selected by Seattle at number 11. Dee Richards from Baylor going to New York, number 17. She went to she attended school in the Cy-Fair Independent School District. Dejanay Carrington from Baylor went to Connecticut at number 20. And India Jones from UT on her way to Seattle at number 23. Man, the ladies rocked it last night. Some amazing stories and family situations last night. It was a grandmother. I don't know which African country she was from, but grandma had the headpiece on, a beautiful outfit, and grandma was getting it in while her grandbaby was being selected. Grandma said, "You can interview, I'm dancing." I wasn't mad at her. I wasn't mad at Granny. Y'all don't know what what people have to go through to get their daughters and their sons ready for a professional league draft. Let them dance. Quit trying to cut stuff off. I love it. Let me do the interviews. I'll let them get it in. And I definitely won't cut them off when they say Jesus. Have me shouting and speaking in tongues too. All right, the Rockets trying to end their 4-game losing streak when they host Denver tonight at 7. Spurs going to try to bounce back from that loss on Wednesday to Toronto when they host Portland tonight at 7:30. Luka and the Mavs are going to host the Knicks tonight at 8:30. And Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram and them from New Orleans, they're going to visit Washington at 6. Major League Baseball, the Rangers beat the Rays 6-4 in 10 innings on Jackie Robinson Day. And the Astros are going to visit Seattle tonight at 9:10. Let me see if there's anything else breaking out there. You know, there's stuff always going on. So what it do, baby? Let me see. NFL draft next, next week? The Bayou Classic. Bayou Classic is tomorrow. Bayou Classic is tomorrow. It is going to be at what time? 1:30 p.m. Central, Southern and Grambling. But the game is going to be played in Shreveport in the Independence Stadium where they play the Independence Bowl. So don't be going to the Super Bowl, Superdome, looking for the Bayou Classic tomorrow. It'll be in Shreveport at 1:30. Grambling and Southern. And I ain't trying to throw no shade. I got Southern in that one. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. I got Grambling in the Battle of the Bands, and I got Southern in the game. How about that? And then tomorrow in the SWAC, you got Mississippi Valley State taking on Texas Southern. That'll be at 2. Prairie View and Arkansas Pine Bluff. 2-0 Prairie View, 3-0 Arkansas Pine Bluff. I got Pine Bluff in that one. I got Mississippi Valley State getting their first win against Texas Southern. I got Pine Bluff beating Prairie View. At 6:30, Alabama A&M versus Alabama State. I got Alabama A&M. That quarterback for Alabama A&M is the business. He needs to be getting drafted next week sometime. And then they canceled Jackson State and Alcorn State. Let me see what's happening in the MEAC. We got any games in the MEAC? Yeah, tomorrow we got South Carolina State and Delaware State at 5. So there's your HBCU update. You know, I got to do that. Other funk ain't doing it. I got to do it. Keisha Kelly got me all excited with her amazing self. I cannot wait till she becomes a sports agent. I can't wait. CJ say, you talking like you know what you're talking about with Grambling and Southern. Child, I done been to more Grambling and Southern games than you know. First of all, here's how you know somebody knows what's going on in the Bayou Classic. You don't ask them who's going to win. You ask them what you're going to wear. That's how you know folks know what's going on at the Bayou Classic. Folks go to be seen and to watch the bands. That's it. Oh, yeah, and by the way, you know, you want bragging rights at the end of the game, so you want your school to win. But if folks talking about, oh, yeah, I'm going because Southern is 4-0 and Grambling is 3-2 and da-da-da-da-da, they don't know what they're talking about. What you going to wear, Doc? Okay, that's fly. I'm going with da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. You know they've been before. Who you think's going to win the Battle of the Bands? Oh, man, you already know. Da-da-da. You know what they talk about. You know what they talk about. April giving love to Jackson State. Man, I'm so excited about Jackson State. I love what Deion Sanders is doing down there at Jackson State. Anybody that thought he was going to be undefeated was, just didn't know. I almost love what Eddie George is getting ready to do up at Tennessee State. What you mean you almost love? I don't like that he's bringing in that other dude as an advisor. Which dude you talking about? I don't want to say his name. But he is a narcissist. He's got a superiority complex. And I don't want him taking that down to the HBCU level. It was bad enough that he did it to Vince Young. It was bad enough that he did it to Nick Foles. It was bad enough that he tried to do it to Jared Goff. It's good enough that he's out of the NFL, but I don't need him running around at an HBCU making everybody feel like he's doing them a favor by being there. I know that's Eddie George's dude. I hope they're able to work it out. I want the best for Tennessee State. I just wouldn't have brought him in. That's just me. You can say what you want to say about me, but that's just me. So anyway, April, you have made my day. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for lighting us up the way that you did. You've inspired a lot of people. You've blessed a lot of people. And I pray blessings back on you. All right, let me get ready to wrap it up for the weekend. Of course, Donnie McClurkin is up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, the latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. And then, of course, you've got a new show coming tomorrow, Coffee with Keith. Coffee with a K with Keith. Tune in from 12 to 1. From 12 to 1 tomorrow, you'll hear the first episode of Coffee with Keith. If you thought you knew anything about coffee and all that goes with the coffee industry, tune in tomorrow, because you're also going to find out how you can, not just drink coffee, but make money off of coffee. So I'm excited about that. New show coming to the family. Then, of course, the Not So Christian in Me show. That'll be on from 1 to 2. Great people. Larry Scott, Denise Scott, Natasha Marie, and the entire crew. Going to be a great show tomorrow. And then, of course, you got Walt Baby Love with gospel tracks. You got other shows that'll be coming. And don't forget, on Monday, you got your girl, Erica Campbell and Griff Get Up Morning. If you are interested in having your own show, kind of like I do, kind of like Keith is getting ready to do, kind of like, Natasha Marie and them do, get at me. There's some room. You can get your show going too. Got to be serious about it. And I'm sorry, it's not free. There is a cost, but you get with me and we'll work it out. Okay? All right. Let me get ready to go. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it except wear a mask or a face covering. Wash your hands. Sanitize everything around you. Be sensitive to everybody around you. And when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, but the racism. and stop killing unarmed black people. Stop killing unarmed black people. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Have a blessed and safe weekend. Here's Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. Americans who receive the Pfizer vaccine are likely to need an additional booster in 6 to 12 months. That according to Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, in a CBS Health Live event. Although data shows the Pfizer vaccine is effective against the South Africa variant that is circulating in the U.S., Mr. Bourla said protection declines over time, similar to a typical flu shot. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
He lives. He lives.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. I really enjoyed having our special guest. I really enjoyed the call-ins. I mean, Keith Hennick, you blessed me today beyond measure. TD Blackshaw, I love you, man. All our other callers, God bless y'all. And your comments, I mean it. Y'all as listeners, y'all mean the world to me. So again, not this, definitely this. Y'all be safe out there, okay? All right, we'll talk to you soon.